Welcome to Las Vegas to Structure Research's Infrastructure Summit 2024. I'm now joined by Elya McCleave, CEO and founder of Innovorg. And Elya, it's a pleasure speaking to you. It's been a while since Hawaii in January.
Yeah, it's been a minute. They're really good to see you here. I'm excited to be in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada at this event.
Yeah, how are you enjoying the event, and how much gambling have you got to report?
Well, we've been attending this event since the event actually was launched. We love it. I think infrastructure team is doing an absolutely fantastic job with the event. A lot of meaningful meetings and definitely parties, some gambling. I lost a couple $100. That's all right. That happens. But yeah, all in all, it's fantastic. Really happy to be here.
All right. I'm sorry for your loss.
It's all right.
We will try again tonight.
Why not?
But speaking on more serious stuff now, so of course, Innovorg works a lot within the talent education, bringing new blood to the industry, making sure that those retiring have someone to replace them, but also navigating the transition between entering the industry and then navigating over the years to go into the next tier of the career. Before we get into what the company is doing, how serious is the issue around talent? How much do we lack in terms of talent, of new blood coming into the industry to help us run the facilities? And that goes from the engineer on the collocation floor all the way up to the boardroom. Like, how serious is the talent shortage?
Well, I think the skill gap and the talent shortage is really critical at the moment. Gartner recently reported that by 2025, we're going to have 300,000 unfilled jobs in the data center services market alone. And generally the skill gaps are widening. What we're seeing in the market, the expectations for the roles and employees are growing. Literally most of our clients are growing superhumans. So the ability of the companies to set clear expectations around skills and effective onboarding and progression of the career once they're in, it's definitely a really challenging task, and that's why a lot of companies are not maybe doing as great of a job on that and struggling to retain and grow their talent in-house, for sure.
Okay. But you've already mentioned the platforms, the education platforms and technology. What are the main technologies that can help, that can aid in educating, in training new people, in opening up the industry to them as well? And that goes beyond AI, I guess, in these days.
Of course. Well, I think from my perspective, there's a fundamental element that we are focused on is the competency framework, skills catalog, which really is a fundamental step for any company to have. It's clarity on what product and services and technology do you sell and sustain in-house, and what are the expectations for your staff. And then it could be through the means of obviously AI. The skills catalog can be sustained and enriched, which we're doing in platform. Content can be developed, but you also can take advantage of industry service providers. There's a number of them. Industry content providers, sorry, there's definitely a number of them.
I think my next question was actually, because with all this new technology, with all these new systems, platforms coming into market to help companies, sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming to the executives to how they actually deploy that in the company. When you go out and speak to clients, what's the biggest hurdles they face with actually adopting those platforms, with adopting even your systems? Like, how do they navigate that? Because there will also be don't want to be ages here, but there'll be some generational gap.
Maybe,
how to adopt and how to implement these things.
Well, we are fairly lucky as a company because there's not a lot of competition in a sense of skills building, education that's purpose built for the industry. We're really the only player right now that's focused on this sector. But there are definitely some learning platforms that are more horizontally focused. With that said, most of the problems I'm seeing is just ability of the companies to effectively integrate those platforms in their global ecosystem, and mainly it's related to disjointed systems and platforms that they have. We are actually API based fully through the webhooks. We integrate with HR system, obviously single sign-on, ticketing systems. We fully integrate and we lead the onboarding process for our clients. But it's definitely, I mean, the integration adoption of new technology is always a change. It's always difficult. But so far we've been pretty successful. in that. Yeah.
You were telling me a couple of days ago, signing up new clients, quite a number of them in the space of a month as well, which is quite nice to see. Talk us through. I mean, now let's really talk about Innovorg. How did the idea started? Because it's not very old. I think we're almost the same age company-wise. So how did the idea started? What made you get out of bed and go like, all right, I'm going to do this now?
I'm going to build a company. Well, I've been an operator actually for many years. I started, as I mentioned, I started my career in the cloud data center. I was a frontline engineer. And gradually I grew through the ranks, becoming an executive running global services. But I've always seen that problem of creating the clear expectations around skills and providing employees with career pathing and progression towards their essential goals. And we are working with a very ambitious generation, like the younger generation. They want everything sooner, they want it now. They're not willing to wait for 20 years, to get to a certain level. And I've been on the mission as an operator to address those problems, helping people to really unlock their potential fully, and in the meantime also benefit the business from a perspective of improved efficiencies, productivity, employee retention, and just engagement of employees and customer sasatisfaction. So this idea have definitely been there. I've been carrying it around, and eventually I decided to just go for it and build the company myself. And it's been a fun journey. We're coming on 3.5 years now, almost 4 years.
Yeah. It's 3.5 years. It's amazing what you've done. How do you use AI though? Because of course every business has to use AI nowadays. How are you implementing AI into Innovorg?
Well, we actually were a little bit early to the market when we were started during pandemic in 2021. So we've had that a bit of a head start, building the systems, the models, the data, and by the time the Gen AI really took off 2 years ago, we were fully ready to embrace it. We're like really at the edge of the technological revolution right now. The way we're using AI is content aggregation, content curation, content development, quiz simulations already delivered by AI. And then in addition to that, we've launched objectives, AI-driven development plans, and we're in the process of releasing the career pathing and high potential employee program, also AI-driven. So platform essentially is fully integrated with AI, and we're using the data models to continue training the platform and improving the user experience consistently.
Very interesting. It'll be interesting to see also how AI actually pushes the company forward with its own ideas. AI providing new ideas on how to push the company forward.
One day, I'm sure conscious AI will come to the market, and I think things will shift. Things will shift for everybody. But it's really exciting to be able to save the time for L&D to generate content on demand, and we're talking not only text-based content, but video-based content as well. And for example, imagine creating quizzes for like tens of thousands of learning resources, but quizzes that are context-based. That are really tailored. It's pretty amazing. We never thought, like even 3 years ago, that we would be able to do what we're doing right now. It's fantastic.
I mean, the whole AI thing, even though AI is 50, 60 years old, it's really just kicked in the last 12, 24 months. Speaking of 12, 24 months, what is the plan for you in the next 12, 24 months? Where do you want to be by 2026?
Well, our plan is to continue growing our footprint in this industry. As I said, we are purpose-built for the data center and cloud space. We have some really amazing clients in our portfolio already, and we're rapidly expanding. So our focus has been in North American market, but we've recently stepped into South Asia and Middle East. So we want to continue expanding our footprint and staying focused on this industry, serving the industry.
Okay. Then, Elya, of course, we are in Vegas for the Infrastructure Summit 2024. When we come back here, not in 12 months, in 13 months, because next year is in October, what's the one thing you would like to see the industry have done, have changed their mindset? What's your wish for in a year's time around this topic?
Well, I definitely, from an educational perspective, because I'm looking at workforce optimization subject, I would love for the industry to really embrace subject of upskilling and preparing their workforce for the future. Because with the AI revolution right now that's happening, it will impact a lot of jobs. We will start seeing automation of work, especially in the services space, like frontline support roles, NOC. I think it's important to prepare your people for the future, and I would love more companies to make those investments, upskilling, cross-skilling, and building up their people for another 5-10 years to come.
Upskilling, I love that. So, and 12-13 months is quite long enough for people to really at least adopt, at least have a go at it. So let's hope that the industry starts going in a different direction. And especially the bigger guys as well, because they have a lot of legacy to solve.
I think it's more about awareness, right? Like, we are working with some very innovative companies that currently allocate at least 50% of their learning time towards human skills, AI, machine learning, sales skills, things that would be really difficult to automate. So that's where the focus lies. And I definitely would love for more companies in our industry to take notice as well.
I think you will see that happening. Maybe not in the next 13 months, we've got to be realistic with these issues sometimes, but change will happen, and I think 2 years, 2 or 3 years, we're going to be in a much better position. And start filling up those 300,000 vacancies.
Exactly.
Like predicted, like you said.
Yeah, and we will systematize all of that. We'll power it up, guys.
Systematize all that. I like that. That's the key word, systematize. I've never heard that before. But Elya McCleave, founder and CEO of Innovorg, thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you.
As for your home, thank you for watching, and do check our website and social media for the latest content about digital infrastructure from across the world. At the Tech Capital, you lead, we report. Bye for now.